Did you see the videos on YouTube on Hollywood, California? These
Uh,
YouTubers
no.
going through Hollywood and all you see is
Oh,
tent
dang.
and
Yeah.
they're going down the street and you see all of these and this is the entertainment district, the main part of Hollywood, and it's just homeless tents like everywhere. Yeah, see if you can pull it up. It's crazy. I typed in Hollywood homeless one
Oh,
month ago. No Limit Eddie posted a video.
yeah.
I mean, the streets they're closing off streets. Another one is German in Venice, but they've actually closed off streets to
Yeah.
just put all their homeless in. Like it's insane.
And man, I was getting ready to go to Texas. Well, if crap really went down, I was fixing to go to Texas. That's the Okie in me. I was fixing to go to Texas because for the reasons that they're going. But now if they're all going to be there, they're just going to ruin that state too.
Well, that's
So
what I wonder. Is like I it didn't seem real when I'm watching these YouTube videos, but I mean, it's not fake. The guys are going down live and they're talking to the homeless
yeah,
and all you see is homeless tents. Like you
yeah,
don't
I've
see
seen those
fancy
videos.
cars. He said a good number of the YouTubers and everybody else you used to see there, they're leaving because outside their buildings, which by the way, the rent was like he went in this one place to go look at an apartment because the
Mhm.
rent was 2,600 a month. And this isn't anything like over the top fancy, but it was nice. And the new price is down to like 1,200 a month, I think. He said the
What?
prices are just tanking because everybody's
That's funny.
leaving because
Yeah.
outside the building, you walk out, you get mugged. Like there's
Oh,
fights,
yeah.
the homeless tents are catching on fires.
Oh
I
my
was reading all
gosh.
these articles on like fires that were breaking out weekly in all these homeless camps. I mean, it's just out of control. I couldn't believe this is Hollywood I'm
Yeah, and
looking
I
at.
was just there like in 2017, and I had a great time, and it was that didn't seem like that was what was happening at the time.
Yeah,
I
I was
mean,
there
there
in
was homeless
2019.
areas, but it wasn't like that. I mean, it was just like, Hollywood.
Mm. Yeah, and I know like LA's always had like a higher homeless population. I get it. I drove through, took some loads through in 2019 and
Yeah.
I actually went on the outskirts of Hollywood. I don't remember the suburb, but it was right there. It was like right by the Hollywood Hills.
Hmm.
And it I mean things looked very nice.
Yeah,
And
it was. I liked my time down there. Like, I mean, it's really pretty. I enjoyed it. Like, I actually thought about moving there before all this happened.
I did
Um,
too. I was like
before
if things
Gavin
go really
Newsom did all
big.
his. Well, I grew up in California, like in Central California. Like, the town I grew up in is 3 hours north of LA.
Are you serious? It is so beautiful up there. A lot of
Yeah,
vineyards and oh my God, we
really
took a
pretty.
load up about halfway up the state. I don't remember which city it was, but it was
There's San Luis
gorgeous.
Obispo, which is really pretty. Um,
Mhm.
Paso Robles, Atascadero. Um, then if you go towards the coast, there's Cambria, San Simeon.
We went down 210,
Yeah.
the bypass, and then we took it on the other side.
We sound like Californians because people make fun of Californians for like, we took the 210 to the 45. No, because that's how Californians talk all the time.
But yeah, we took 5 north and then we went
Yeah.
up. What
Sacramento.
is it? There it is. I can see exactly where it flattens out. Okay, so it was up by like Grapevine and Wheeler Ridge.
You went over
So
the Grapevine Pass. Okay.
yes, so we were coming
Oh
out
my
of the
gosh.
Grapevine Pass, and as you're cresting that,
Yeah.
all you see, and you can even see it like on Google satellite image, it's
Mhm.
just these like square manicured farmland. It's beautiful.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. I have a story about the Grapevine. I was getting a ride from one of my cousins who actually drives a big rig like you, and it was in the winter, and I was getting a ride home for like the holidays. It was like icy, and there was a big traffic jam up there, and we were on like the incline of it, and some of the rigs were sliding a little bit. It was like really scary, but we made it out okay. I was like, oh my gosh, that was
That would
scary.
be terrifying.
Yeah.
I like refuse to drive in the mountain areas in the winter at this point. Now
Yeah.
that I'm lease purchase driver, I told RTI, I'm like, I'm not going into, thank God I'm on a dedicated route now. I don't have to
Yeah.
deal with it. But
That's
yeah, I
good.
told him, do not send me into like chain areas. If you have to chain, I'm not going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's
I've
a
done
show
that
called Ice
before.
Road
It
Trippers.
sucks. Yeah, no kidding.
I think they have to put chains on all the time. I don't know. I haven't watched them enough though.
I used to watch them a lot. I think it would be interesting. Like, part of me would want to try to go do it, but at the same time, like, you screw that shit. I'm just like watching Lisa Kelly like dive out of the truck because she thinks
Oh
the
my
truck's gonna
god.
go under, which is what you're supposed to do. I guess they crack the door open and drive like that. And then if they hear what sounds like the ice is actually caving in, they say you can hear the ice crack anyway as you go over it, which, oh my God, that would be terrifying.
So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to jump out?
So yeah, if you think like the truck's about to crash through the ice, you already have the door cracked as you're going over this, and you're supposed to just abandon the truck. And they're only going at like a snail's pace, right? So they're going like 5 miles an hour.
Like, so if the truck started to like crash down like through
Dive
the ice,
out. Yeah,
oh my
because they
gosh.
said if you're in the truck, it's going to be too late by the time it goes under if you don't already have the door open, that it's going to take you down with it and you're not going to be able to get out.
Oh my gosh.
That's got to be
scary.
terrifying.
Oh, forget that. No wonder you don't want to go drive on ice.
What's gonna take you down?
The truck, if you're on ice and you hear it cracking, she said that they're trained to jump out keep the door cracked open and jump out if you start hearing the ice crackle. Nikki's listening, so
I can't even imagine. Like, that would be terrifying.
that is scary. I mean, it's weird how you think like there's a whole bunch of training that most people don't even know exists that makes sense. I mean, but the stuff that you probably have to learn is probably like stuff people hope they don't ever have to do.
I definitely wouldn't want to try that. Like, it would be a challenge, but I wouldn't. I just don't think I could do that whole drive over a frozen lake and you're hearing like the ice crack. It's like, screw this shit, I'm out.
Oh no, forget that.
No.
Especially in a really heavy truck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that'd be terrifying.
The first time I saw snow, I was 14, and it was like a church camp. I got dragged to it by some of my sister's friends, and
That's the first time you saw snow?
Yeah, when I was 14, because of the place in California that I grew up just didn't have snow, and because the weather was really mild all year round. And then I stupidly walked out on a frozen pond, but they told me, come back here, get back. I didn't even know any better. I was fine, but later I learned, like, well, you don't do that because you could fall through. So thankfully I didn't, but I didn't know any better. Just never been around it. So
that's crazy. I can't imagine like not seeing snow until I was 14. I grew up in Missouri, so it was like I grew up with snow constantly.
Yeah, doesn't it get like pretty cold in the winter?
It does.
Is that like a laughing thing? Of course it does. No.
It's kind of like, does Alaska get cold? Does bear shit in the woods, you know?
That's funny.
But I think, to be honest, I think like it was a lot colder back then, because even up here in like Kansas City area, like I don't notice as much snow as we used to get. We'll get the big storms and we get it every year. We definitely get snow here, but it doesn't seem to be like as bad as it used to be. It's almost like we're in a warmer climate right now. I don't know if it's just a
yeah.
fade.
That's what I noticed with Oklahoma is it's kind of a little bit of a warmer climate. Well, in the summer it's really hot.
Oh yeah.
People don't understand, like it gets seriously hot there.
Yeah, and the humidity is like terrible. That's why I like Kansas City and westward, because up here in Kansas it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
Kansas City does get its rounds of humidity, but it goes up and down. You'll get like humid days where it's miserable, but then it'll dry out, and then 103 degrees you could be outside and not even sweat because it's so dry.
It does make a difference if it's dry.
Definitely.
Like I remember being in Oklahoma, and sometimes there'll be summer nights where it's still like 100 degrees in the middle of the night, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
I hate that. I like break out in the heat. If it's too humid, I start just breaking out in like a rash everywhere. It's horrible. I cannot do the heat.
Yeah, I like to keep however I am, I like to be climate controlled. Like I don't have to have a lot in life, but that's one of the things I really like is I just want to be comfortable physically, like with the temperature.
I do too. That's why I drive a dry van.
Yeah.
There's a lot better is to get out and like wrestle the tarps and all kinds of crazy weather. You know, I'm like, no, I'm just going to sit in the truck and grab these preloads where it's climate controlled. I've got the temperature, my radio, like I'm
Oh,
all
that's
set.
nice. Is that
Yeah.
where, like, during the video where you said you don't really have to get out and do anything, like, or you just have to hook it up?
hmm
Like, if
Yeah,
it's a-
the account I'm currently on is pretty much self-serve. Like we have a key that we're given that gives us access to everything. And so we get our own paperwork. We swap out the trailers ourselves. We have like color-coded locks that tell you if a trailer's ready.
Oh,
And so
cool.
yeah, we just help ourselves, which is really nice. Like I've got
That
it
is
really
cool.
good.
That's really awesome. It
Mhm.
sounds like no frills and you can just get it and go.
It is,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
No frills.
But yeah, I have 2 cousins I have 3 cousins that are truck drivers.
Really?
Sorry. I almost forgot one of them because I almost never talked to him. Oh, I hope he's not watching this, but well, thankfully, none of them will know which one it is.
I still
But,
love you, but I forgot you.
it's just that he doesn't. He's not around the family as much as the other people are. So that's why, like, it's not that he's any less important or anything, but yeah, they've been truck driving a long time too. So they like it. I think like that I think it's what happens with you is like they have like the preload things where they can just do what you were talking about and it's
Mhm.
easy. They own their own trucks and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about transportation is like there's so many different positions. There's something for everybody. So I mean, there are people that like the flatbed because you don't have the wind resistance. You don't have to worry about the trailer tipping over in the wind. You know, when
Oh
it's a windy
yeah.
day. It's easier to drive in like crazy weather conditions.
I didn't think of that.
But then again, you got to stand outside for 30 minutes by yourself, you know, wrestling this 60-pound tarp, which
That's a
I
lot.
can't even imagine. I don't think I could do it. Like, I'm not even heavy enough to get that thing down.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, forget that. No, you got the best deal there. Like for what you're doing, you got the best option, I think.